What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Street Fighter Duel video. Guys, I just want to talk about a sensitive topic here for a lot of folks. This is something that I'm not trying to stir shit up, just so we're clear right now. Some people won't even care about this topic. Some people will. Some people are just going to be like, this is stupid. Why even bother with this? But it's just something I want to point out because we've kept it real on this channel. I've kept the community as informed as I possibly can. And just my thoughts on it, right? Now, I'm going to talk about versioning, something I have not been doing at all. I've tried my best not to compare in any way, shape, or form because I know global gets treated differently in terms of timelines, in terms of character releases, the way characters function to some extent, how they change currencies, how events are dropped, what events rewards are provided per each event. So everything pretty much does change. Now, the beauty of comparing, of course, is the fact that you get an insight of what other versions offer, so there may be some comparable similarities to global, right? Which is amazing. Like that, having that information is better than not having it at all. Where I think it becomes a little harmful is when you're doing a one-to-one, right? And I think that's what kind of has put some of the community up in arms in regards to people doing it too often. Like, for example, with MH Ken, there was a lot of comparison of how he was going to be a legendary unit and how easy he was going to be to get. And his moves, his skill set changed a little bit. Obviously, he got better in global, I think, if I recall. But he also became infernal, which obviously changes the way you purchase him. He became way more expensive, as we're all very aware. And that's what put the community up in arms. Not only because the game developers made the change, but also content creators got a lot of backlash for that because everyone was promoting him as a legendary. He's going to be epic. He's going to be easy to get. And then, bam, he gets dropped, and boom, everything's different. I mean, not to mention, let's just use the primary example of Bison, right? Bison's a complete different character altogether in the versions. And again, I hate comparing, but I'm doing it because this is what the video is about, right? So I think the harm in comparing is we're setting expectations. And I'm not talking about just character skills. I'm not talking about how the way characters move, the way they perform, what their passives are, their equipment, their faction. I'm talking about the acquisition of characters as well, right? We're talking about the timeline of characters. We're talking about how the characters fit into molds that are currently out because of the way they're released and when they're released, right? So these are all things that are going to make the game different in every version. So again, this is not to call out any content creators. I'm not doing that. This is just my own thoughts. I'm allowed to have my own thoughts. I'm sharing my thoughts because I think this is something important. I think having the knowledge that a lot of these players do in different versions is fantastic. Like, you guys are providing content. You guys are providing different views on the way the game is played in different areas, but I don't like the one-to-one comparisons. And it's okay, again, to compare what you think is going to happen. Thinking is different than saying, for sure, right? Being affirmative about something and showing affirmation for something is different than saying, this is my hypothesis. Like, I think this character is still going to do this, and here's my reasoning behind it, versus this is what the character does, expect this in global, he's OP. And I will say this in global, they have made a lot of characters better. For example, Street Poison, as a lot of people may know, again, comparing, is the same unit except she gets a heal in ours and she doesn't in the other versions. So giving her a little more utility, and maybe the way she gets played is different. Now, granted, she's really known for her buffs. That's what she's going to be there for. So chances are you're going to play her the same. But again, the survivability aspect changes because now she can toss a heal here and there where she couldn't in the other versions. So all in all, to say this, I love having the videos to watch of other versions because I think it's cool. And that gives people the opportunity to say, hey, you know what, screw global. I want to go play the Taiwanese version, or I want to go play the Chinese version because there's way more characters out, easier to summon, easier to get resources, right? And some people will say, you know what, no, the language barrier is too big for me. I want to kind of roll with the community. I want to play with people I know. And these are things that I would like not to compare to, right? Personally, that's my own personal preference. So again, I'm not knocking anybody for doing the comparisons because you are showing value in your videos in terms of what a character already does do, and these assets may still exist in this game. But to be definitive with your videos and to say this person for sure is this OP, or this person is going to play this way, or they're going to be this faction, or this is how you're going to acquire them through events, through financial means, this person is going to be a legendary. It's just, I think it's wrong, only because we've seen already within a month how different the game has been delivered from Crunchyroll, or the devs I should say, not from Crunchyroll, to A+ and to us, right? And I think it's very hard to stomach it for some people, and I think a lot of these people have now turned away from versioning because of how hard it was on them to deal with the fact that their favorite character Ken is no longer acquirable without having deep pockets. I just can't using Ken as an example, right? Cammy's another one. Cammy just came out, literally, right? Just literally came out. Trendy Cammy. She's not a fashion unit. She's not a legendary anymore. Because in the other versions, again, versioning, I'm doing it right now because it's a video, but she's a legendary unit. So you buy her for one simple cost, and you can use her and link her to other characters, and she'll get the rank. So I'm not saying that it's completely different, or that it's not exactly this. Oh, I am saying it's exactly not the same, actually. I'm not saying that some things are not the same. Some things will be the same. And again, it's great to have that insight, right? To have the people be able to version and be like, here's what to expect from this version. It may be the same for your version. But to say the game is played exactly the same, that's not true. And I'll tell you why it's not true. You're using different characters that are not even out yet, because these characters are going to be power crept. And that's a reality. These characters that we have now are no longer going to be valid for the most part. For the most part, there's some characters that'll be timeless, and I know this in all gacha games. This is a fact. But some characters are just going to be power crept that people are using now that they will no longer use anymore. So to say the game is played the same, it's not. Mechanically, it changes because the skills are going to differ for each new character that comes out, and they're going to change the way the game is functioned, either through passives, through combos, through ultras, through FSs, through their cars, right? Whatever the case may be, the game does change. So to say like it plays the same in all versions, I think that's a little bit pushing. And again, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. Again, guys, the same thing as the clickbaiting thing. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just explaining the harm. There's a lot of good, but there's also a lot of harm, and it all comes down to one thing. It's not the information that you're presenting, it's how you're presenting it, right? Your information is incredible. I applaud you for putting yourself out there for that. The only thing I say is how you deliver it. It's like, for example, you have a fight with your wife, right? I'm just going to use an example. This is an everyday marriage thing, right? The way you deliver your disagreements or your arguments is going to be the difference between you sleeping on a couch and still sleeping in your bed. It's reality. Reality. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? So what I mean by that, and I've said it earlier in this video, it's the way you make it definitive. Don't make it definitive. Just make it speculation. And speculation is more than okay, because people love speculation, right? Because then you have something to look forward to. You're speculating, and we speculate with you. We're like, oh, this is cool. I want to speculate along with this person. So that's kind of where I think versioning should kind of sit versus where it is now, which is becoming very definitive, right? And if I'm wrong, guys, in the comment section, please let me know. But that's what I've noticed. This is my own perspective, and I would love to hear from you guys as well too. Obviously, I know you guys are very vocal about this on this channel, and I love it. So give me your perspective on it. Let me know what you guys think. But again, not singling anybody out. Just my own perspective. Again, I'm allowed to do this on my channel. I can do whatever the hell I want, really. But I do care about you guys, and I'm just trying to kind of throw that out there about the different versions, right? All right, anyways, guys, this is Payne. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to find out where you guys stand with this. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys soon.